Hi guys, welcome to another music chat. Today it's with Gene in Amsterdam, Netherlands. In fact, the first music chat ever on this YouTube channel was with Gene early last year. He's back to give us an update. Hi Gene, how's it going?
Good. And how about you?
I'm doing pretty good, yes. So thanks for joining us. Just wanted to have a little chat what you've been doing lately, and then we will have some interesting little chats, and then we're going to play a clip of a couple of the new things that you're working on. Okay, so tell us what you've been doing lately. First, tell us about your two music projects.
Oh, yes, I'm working on the debut album for the Madsons and some couple of new EPs for the Polsters.
Hmm.
The Polsters is a solo project of me, is kind of shoegaze meets instrumental rock music. And the
Yeah,
Madsons is more like a real band with two or three people. We have a bassist. The singer also plays keyboard, and I do the guitar and the drum machine. And it's more like post-punk, new wave, and some say it is gothic music.
yeah, I think definitely has some of those influences in there. What about your recent gigs? You told me you've been doing a few gigs lately, and where have you been doing them?
It depends what you are asking when it comes to bands or DJing.
All of
For
it.
the
Tell me about everything.
Oh yes, so the couple of months I was so busy with DJing, so sometimes I had three DJ gigs in a row.
Hmm.
So DJing is going really well. I get booked often in the Netherlands, and sometimes I go to London. And I also played several weeks in London with the Candle.
Mm-hmm.
That's a friend of mine who also makes shoegaze music.
Yeah, that's good.
So I joined in his band as the bassist.
Yeah, I think you told me about this. Yeah, and how do you like that music? How are you enjoying that project?
I think it's lots of fun to play live with this project of Dennis.
And it's also fun that you don't have to write the music. You can just kind of be a part of a thing and just play the instrument instead of worrying about writing the music or mixing or recording all those things.
That's one of the main reasons why I joined his band.
Yeah, yeah, I did that
And
a
also
couple
because
times.
he's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Because this friend was actually the ex-bassist of my band,
Hmm.
but this ex-bassist passed away several years ago.
Have you gotten any new gear since our last music chat when
Oh
we
yes, of
checked
course,
out your
I
whole
can
studio?
show you. So let's see what I got. I got these new headphones.
Hmm.
You might recognize which brand it is.
Fuzzy.
This is a Newman.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
is
Oh
for the
yeah,
microphones.
yeah. That's like my microphone right here.
So I got the headphones, if they are not cheap, but I thought it's a good investment to
Yeah, it
have really
definitely
good
is.
headphones for tracking, recording, and mixing, of course.
Yeah.
And it also makes the mixing and recording my guitar much better because the type of warm flatness of the sound, I can hear everything more clearly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And also the low end is also really important
Yeah, for sure. Because
because most are mid bass, right?
yes. And this mic, I've had this mic for 7 years now, and I've been using it for all my videos. I've used it for recording vocals, recording acoustic guitars. So, and there's not, and of course I got the custom black color as you can see. Because normally these mics come in the silver color, the bronze color.
Oh
But
yes, they
but
are
I
famous for.
specifically I waited extra time so I could get the custom black color. So yeah,
Nice one. And what is actually the model?
it's the TLM 103.
Ah, classic.
Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, and it works great. Like I said, I've been using it for my YouTube videos for since the beginning, since the last time we had our video chat a year and a half ago. Anything else?
Yes, of course. Because I got something from the back. It's a Casio digital guitar from
What?
1987.
Where did you find that? Is it that
I
same
got
vintage
it.
store you told me about?
No, I got it from some guy from London.
Where? London, you mean?
Yes.
I see. And then you brought it back with you. You bought it in London when you were visiting, and then you just brought it back with you.
Yeah, a friend of mine sold this guitar, so she asked to me, "Do you want to have this guitar?" So she told to his friend, "You have to keep this one for Gene," and I got this
Mhm.
for. €100.
Sorry, how much?
For
Oh,
€100.
that's pretty good.
And for this type of guitar is kind of a deal.
Yeah, and then those aren't so easy to find.
No, you don't see them often. Of course, it's a Casio.
Yeah.
And these are not regular guitar strings. They are actually from rubber.
Wow. And where do you find those strings?
Yeah, it was already fixed on the guitar, so
But you don't need to change them, right?
no. Because the funny thing is, as you can hear, no tuning light. The funny thing about this guitar is, if you play everything, they recognize the notes when it is on.
Mhm.
But if you play the acoustic, you don't recognize the tuning.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool that you can can you connect it MIDI into and control instruments with it?
This is the DG10, so no, but the DG20, yes. I
Interesting.
don't have the right version for that.
I'm gonna have to see if I can find it somewhere here. That would be interesting to try it out. Yeah, all right,
Yeah,
what else you got?
just some little things, just some cables and maybe some new arrangements for studio.
Mhm.
Not really, only a digital mixer. So this is a Line 6 20 channel digital mixer.
I can't remember if you had that last time.
No,
No, I
because I
don't think it
this
does.
one
It
only.
looks new.
Yes, because previous year I hadn't this yet. It's really nice so because I actually mixed a whole EP for a band on this thing.
That's pretty easy. I mean, it makes it pretty convenient that you can do it in one thing.
Yes, and you can make your own stage plan. So as you can see, I made my own stage plan, and it's also recorded, so I can record my sessions or maybe some quick demos.
Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
if you don't know how to mix it, you can just have this easy.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Wow. So it has pretty much everything that you need in one thing.
Yes, compressor cage, feedback suppressor also for vocals,
Hmm.
and also for channels of reverb modulation effects.
Wow, that's pretty nice. Yeah, that's good because then you can have the one reverb and then kind of add it to all the different instruments so they have all the same similar reverb sound.
Yes, that's correct. And you can even change the EQ of the reverb itself, or
Hmm.
even the main speaker,
Yeah.
and have your own monitor mixers about
Hmm.
for.
It's like having the computer DAW system, but in a hardware box.
Yes, this is some sort of DSP machine.
Wow, it's got a bunch of plugs and everything.
And you can also control it on your iPad, so I can even do the EQing from a distance, or even record my own band. Then I can do my own sound check when I don't
Hmm.
play, but I can just play the recording.
And how much have you started? When did you get this?
Let's see, I got this maybe in March.
And have you used it a lot since then?
Yes, I even use this for recording an EP from band, and I use it also for live rehearsals in studio, and
Hmm.
also for performing live. And all three works out really good.
So it's not just for studio. You can use it in all different, like you can use it live studio and like if you want to
Yes,
go record at somebody else's studio.
that's correct. But the things have to record everything at once. But you can also just import some files like drums or something like that on a USB. You can play it and then record the rest of it. But this is just my table with machines, my tabletop synthesizer.
Oh yeah, I think you move some stuff around.
Yes, correct. And I've told like previous time that I use this for recording sketches and demos.
Yeah.
And one of the demos that I wrote is also recorded on this thing. You will hear it soon.
All right. So the next thing I wanted to ask you was, what's inspiring you to write music these days? What kind of things are inspiring you?
Lately, just things that I see in life, and maybe trying to get some inspirations from films that I see.
Yeah, films are always really good inspiration for music.
I mainly watch movies that is more taking place in the past, or films that are made in the 70s or earlier, or maybe late, but not really films from today, because modern films is a bit too, how do I say, it's a bit too silly.
Yeah. And are
And I
these
don't like
American?
and I also don't like the modern type of people in films.
Are these American films, Dutch films, or other European films?
Italian, Spanish,
Mhm.
France. The reason why I watch it because I can also learn how we were as people back in the day.
Yeah.
Like we evolve always above, but sometimes if we evolve, we also get smarter, but we also becomes more dumber.
Yeah. In some ways smarter, some ways stupider. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Because if everything has to go up high, some things go also low.
Yes, exactly.
That's why it's good to sometimes good to go back in the past in a way.
So have you discovered any cool new bands?
Not really from today. It's just some bands that people maybe it's several times. Then it is already forgotten. So
Hmm.
for me, I don't remember the names. For me, it's just always buying records. Like the new ones that I bought was called for Game Cross.
So what are you listening to currently? Are you listening to any new albums that are really that you really like? You're listening to it.
Let's say I try to pick up albums now that I think that's the way how I want to mix my band's album.
Right. Okay. And do you have a couple of albums in that you can name that are
Of course,
inspiring mix?
60 Parallel, Into Bliss, Party Day, Glass House.
And where are these bands from?
The first one, 60 Parallel, is from United States, California. They
Mhm.
released one mini album that is kind of post-punk with a little bit dream pop in the mix. It's like Set Love the Giants, like
Mhm.
the band The Chameleons.
Okay. And
And
the other one?
Skip of the Bridge from the Chameleons is also one of the inspirations from Manchester.
And have you heard any of the New Cure album? What do you think of it?
I've played, I think, this week 6 or 7 times straight.
The whole album?
Yes.
I haven't listened to the whole one yet because I'm trying to make videos for each one and I don't want to listen to all of them too much before I make the video. Because in the video I want to be a little bit surprised. But I've done 3 of them now and I'm still gonna continue finishing them. And
You will
then
be surprised.
yeah, a little bit surprised, but also I have to, listen to the song a little bit to make sure that the audio is okay when before I'm doing the video. So I do hear a little bit of it. That just, it has to
Yeah,
because
I
when I'm
think
making the
it's,
video, I have to test the audio. So yeah. But I haven't really listened to too much. I just heard little bits and I said, okay, this song and go from there. So okay.
it's a really good album because it's really a concept album. So it's about loss, death, and yeah, it's just more about the ones that you love, but also the ones that has died recently in your life. That's
Yeah,
what is the
yeah.
album about.
Yeah, it's got a very dark subject matter in there. But I was watching the interview with Robert Smith, and I mentioned this in my last review video that he said, this is one of those albums where the whole album has a specific kind of sound, whereas something like In Between Days or Kiss Me, right? All the songs they're very different. There's a big range of different songs and sounds on those albums, but whereas like Disintegration or this one, there's a kind of similar prevailing mood throughout the whole thing.
Yes, and some
So
songs from Wish is also a bit like this in that album, but it's more focused.
and yeah, so it and there's some really interesting guitar sounds and like very distorted, fuzzy kind of things happening with the bass, which I really like too. So
And the synthesizer is a bit more, how do I say it? Synthesizer is more in the mix.
yeah, yeah, but
And
still
the
some
thing
parts
is,
they're kind of in the background, but
this time it's not in the background.
yeah, yeah, some songs they're fully up front, and then this last song, War Song, yeah, I think the synths are always there, pretty full, and then they
Yes,
add some more other sounds of synths, which may be in the background, but then there's like a few main synth sounds in the front, and then they add little texture sounds in the back.
I think the reason why you will like this album is because this album is actually almost like a whole, actually the most Cure album that leans towards. post-rock.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting lots of interesting comments from people about this album. Some people don't like it, some people like it, some people like some songs. So, but most of the comments I got were pretty everybody loves the album. So, and
Yes, it's just more that some people expect to have Rob Smith sing now in the songs, but for this album you have to wait sometimes 3 or 4 minutes till Rob Smith is singing.
yeah, so I'm excited
No,
to
and not
keep listening
everyone
to
is
it.
waiting for, and not everyone has the patience to wait for folks to come in 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, and also he said that there's still a whole another album's worth of music that they've already almost finished. So it's like they worked on two albums after 16 years. They worked on two albums. So I think there's a second album, another album that's almost done, and then it will come out a little later on. So go
I
ahead.
think why it also got the number one is because somehow the promotion, but also their kind of comeback, but they are not really a comeback band because they were, of course,
They're always
active,
there.
active playing live,
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
always great to see them live.
Yeah, and it's just like it just seems more of a comeback because it's the first album in 16 years. So, but
Yes,
they've been playing live all this time. So, yeah, so I'm hoping they come by here or maybe next year when I'm visiting LA. I hope I get to see them again. So, I definitely want to.
hopefully Amsterdam too.
Yeah, maybe I'll even join you for that one.
Let's see
So,
for next year. I think they
yes,
will play at least.
let's see what happens. Or you can come maybe we'll go see them twice. You can come to Prague, I'll go to Amsterdam.
Yeah, I think it will work out because lately I have to travel to other counties often because of DJing, but now I'm also playing in a band that's more international, so I have to play in other
Yeah.
countries with the candle.
Well, I actually have gone to a few goth clubs here. We went to some places for Halloween and stuff. So maybe I can send you their links and you can contact them for gigs, and I can like tell them like, yeah, let's see if you want to play in Prague.
That would be great because Prague is such a beautiful city.
Yeah, and there's a pretty big goth and alternative post rock, all that kind of that kind of scene here. So people are into a huge variety of different music in Prague. So it's very interesting. All right, so first we're going to talk about you had mentioned doing some demo recording for the Pool of Tears. So my question was, how come you're doing demos? Why don't you just record the songs now?
Because with demos, I can always hear back if I have to change something. That is the reason because I'm kind of a perfectionist. That's why taking lots of time to work on music because I always pay attention towards arrangements of the song and also sound because I can always change the sound during post production. But for me, I do it in the old school way, so I prepare everything in pre-production already.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of benefits, and if this method is working for you, you just stay with it.
It feels more human in a way. And because I make, let's say, kind of music that's more sounds like back in the day.
Yeah, that's good. So you just keep doing what you're doing. And how many songs are there?
Let's say I wanted to record first one EP, but I decided to record two EPs. So it takes a bit of time.
Hmm.
But both EPs will have a concept too.
But for the Pool of Tears, how many songs do you have right now?
Let's say some are really sketch and some are finished. So
Mhm.
let's say 3 songs are finished and I have to work still on let's see on 5 songs.
So do you want to release the full album, or are you going to release like an EP first?
First 2 EPs.
Okay. And just again to remind, are you going to be playing just yourself with guitars, drum machines, and all the instruments, or will you have other people playing on it to record?
The Pool of Taste will always be a standalone project.
But I mean, will you ask anybody else to say maybe add some synth sound or maybe play some
No,
keyboards? So it'll just be you doing all of it.
just everything.
Okay. All right. And the Medicines, tell me a little bit more about this band, the members, the musical influences and sounds, and maybe you can tell us which guitars you're using for it.
Oh yes, so we are still working on the debut album for the Masters. It takes some time because we had previous bassists, but some of the bassists left during the recording, so we have kind of a bad luck when it comes to recording the bass.
Mhm.
Because we do have the people, but our band is really like a band, so we are not this type of band that want to record something. We are just a serious band, so it also takes lots of time and patience to work on things.
And does everybody come to your studio to record, or can they record in their home studio and send it to you, or how do you do it?
It's always in my studio because then we use the same gear, the same preamps and that sort of stuff. So everything feels more connected and melting to each other. Then that some gear sounds a bit too different, then it feels like it is recorded at several studios.
Yeah, and it feels kind of a little bit disconnected in a way. It'll give a disconnected feeling unless, yeah. So definitely through the same studio, say the same thing. It gives it that connected, cohesive sound. So,
and also because in CO you can create some sort of vibe. So with this vibe, you have maybe new ideas, or you have a different set of emotions, and you can put those emotions into music, right?
So what kind of musical influences are influencing this band?
Let's see, really the old school and obscure post-punk bands like The Cure, Echo Bunnyman, Joy Division, 60 Parallel, Chameleons, and of course a little bit of Bauhaus.
Yeah,
and some say Suicide and Banshees.
Yeah, that's always good. And what kind of guitars are you using for it?
For the masters, I use only one typical guitar, my Starcaster.
Oh, that's the blue one, right?
No, that is the Alternated Reality Metoya.
Right. So this one is black, I think, right?
Yes, correct. Same hollow. Because I like to have this sharp guitar sound, but it should not be too sharp that it feels like kind of way too sharp. So with same hollow, you have the sharpness, but you have also the warmness at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I have with semi-hollow, so I know exactly how that is. And in fact, the semi-hollow I got because I wanted to get the Cure sound, that kind of chiming kind of high-end sound, but also a little bit full and big. And I call it woody sound. It's kind of a woody sound. Like, I don't know, it just has its special sound, which and other guitars don't have.
And besides that, why I use Stratocaster is because the chest voice is already a really mid treble type of guitar and fine. So
yeah, and I think if you put the hollow body through the jazz core, the JC120, it kind of works with the sound because the jazz course is kind of a little bit on the high end side, and I think the hollow body balances it out pretty good. So yeah. All right, first we're gonna hear the Medicines.
Feeling so depressed, finally disappeared. Is this what I've been waiting for? At my door. Is this what I've been waiting for? Can't believe I'm on my own in this glorious day of mine. In this glorious
All right, we're going to go to the next one, Pool of Tears. The medicines. So these are just right now you are working in progress, right?
That's correct. We
Mhm.
do have record everything, but we have to do some things again and record the bass.
Right. And the Pool of Tears one is just a demo right now.
It's actually a sketch.
The medicines. I heard this interesting little synth in the back. What was that synth? It had like an older oscillating thing at the end, oscillating
Uh,
delay kind of thing at the end.
That's because we had recorded this secondary synthesizer, but the sync and I thought let's add some kind of unusual reverb. So we did some reverb with some pitch delay.
Okay, so that's that oscillating kind of sound at the end.
Yeah, it's nice because this is actually done with the Poly Beepo. The Poly Effect Beepo, that's a touchscreen pedal. What the most funny thing about this thing is you can make your own change. And you can maybe even put 40 delays if the the DSPU is not full. So you can even have your own guitars, cabinet simulation, or you can even make your own patch for keyboard so it can be used as MIDI.
So you're putting the synth through a amp emulator.
Actually, the synthesizer is record, so it goes to the send out to the patch bay. And from the patch bay, I can connect to any devices what I want to use. Then it goes back to the Tascam to record the reverb or the delay or the effect separately. And also because if you record the effect, you're kind of limited, but also at the same time not, because then you have more control about EQing, or you can even put more effects to it.
So you were just using a drum machine, or you're not having any drummer?
No, we use always a machine for both projects. And for this recording, I use the Oberheim DX. But the drum sounds is a bit dry, so on the recording, it has some effects to it, like microphone simulations.
Yeah.
So the drum machine is actually recorded dry, and then I send the drum instruments also to the patch bay, and it goes to this little unit, the Tascam DR1 VP1, because it has some, as you can see, microphone simulation or tube effects. Or it goes to IM1 anteriors, also famous for their autotune stuff. Also microphone simulations.
You're just using the usual method as before.
Yes, that's correct. Just to keep a bit more space and proximity effect, so it sounds more like that is recorded really close to the source or far away from the instrument.
Mm-hmm. And which guitar did you use in there?
Starcaster, Band Starcaster.
And you have some little bit of distortion on that too, because I noticed it's got, like you said, the Bauhaus, it's got a little bit of the Daniel Ash guitar sound, like that kind of, where it's kind of distorted a little more in the high end of the guitar. It's almost not fuzzy, but crunchy, I would say.
Yeah, the thing is that if you use coarse and distortion sound, course, it makes distortion sometimes a bit ugly, but I found it is an MXR prime distortion.
It gave me that feeling of that it gave me that guitar Bauhaus guitar feelings. If you have the singer, and then do you have a bass player also playing on it?
For this bass, I was doing the bass as a reference, so I know how to record my guitar, the other instruments, and then we have in a week we have a new bassist that's going to help with recording the bass.
That's good.
Because we prefer a real bassist. Because I'm not the best bassist. I'm more like a shoegaze bassist.
Yeah, I only record bass for like doing the sketching, like you say. But I have a bass here, but I only use it for recording. I don't ever perform playing the bass. So, all right, now on the Pool of Tears song, that one was a lot more ambient, kind of shoegazy kind of sound. And is the rest of the album, the EP, is going to be having that similar kind of sound?
Yes, these two EPs, it will be the comeback of the Pool of Tears, because I haven't released for this project in 5 years something.
Yeah, because I remember that's what you were playing when we played together back in 2017. That was you played solo before us. So I've only seen you doing that. I haven't seen you playing with Medicines or any other bands.
We are going to play with the Medicines in the Netherlands, but also in Belgium.
Yeah, so I will also send you some of these clubs here that I think maybe they would be interested in playing you guys, and you can contact them. And then
we want to promote our album next year, so we try to the album this year.
How many songs total for the Medicines?
It could be 10 songs.
And you're gonna do again a couple of EPs and then the album?
An album, maybe 2 EPs, then again a new album. Because for me, I don't like to write random songs. I always try to have a nice schedule of songs that I think it is nice for a release, maybe for an EP,
Mhm.
a mini album or album. I always try to think in concepts. Just songs that share a bit similar message, but not the whole thing.
Yeah,
Just that
yeah.
connect to each part.
Yeah, same thing for me. Like I will choose once I have like 7 or 8 songs, I will say, okay, these 4 can go on like in an EP, and then I start focusing. And that also helps me like focus instead of thinking, oh my God, I have to do like 10 songs, having like 4 songs, it's easier to focus or to finish them in like in a project way, right? Okay, first it's easier to keep 4 songs in mind to finish them and then move on instead of 10 songs to finish them, because then you know that because you have only 4 songs, it's not going to take as long as 10 songs. So it's easier to keep those 4 in mind and like keep a more narrow kind of focus of what the work that you're doing.
Yes, and the song that you read from the Mass Disclosure Day is also the intro of the album, because it's all about that we have these type of days that we don't feel good, right?
Mhm.
So we try to hope for something better. That's why it's called Disclosure Day, because that is the day that you want to most that everything will be better.
Thanks, Gene, for showing us what you've been up to. We'll check in with you again pretty soon. All of Gene's music links are in the video description below. Please remember to subscribe, hit the bell, and drop a comment. Which of these insights are you enjoying the most? And what other kind of videos would you like to see? Don't forget to download my free guitar solo worksheet and checklist. It'll help you craft your guitar solos more creatively and effectively. Just click the link in the video description below and sign up to get your free copy. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you immensely. Have an awesome creative day. Thanks, Gene. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.